What's up, world? This is Linwood Cox Jr. with Imago Day Fashion Consulting. Well, the founder and CEO of Imago Day Fashion Consulting, and this is the book of Aliel Cast. I am currently driving on a road right now, and I was thinking about what this week's topic would be, and the one thing that's been coming up to mind lately, and I think this is a popular opinion with most people who are on the road, is that number one, they hate traffic, and then also number two, they hate drivers. Now, they never really hate themselves, but at the same time, I think that people generally have a consensus that no matter where you go, they hate the drivers that live there. But honestly, I gotta be real with you. In my humble opinion, I find it odd that no matter where you go, right, that there are bad drivers everywhere. And people always act like that it's the particular area and space that they're in, but it's really just not true. But what I wanted to talk about today is something that I was thinking about, because, and this is also my opinion as well, I believe that the number one cause of traffic is not what people think it is. People typically think that when they see speedy drivers. Now, I'm not advocating people going over the speed limit at all, but there is something to be said about the fact that when you see accidents, right? And this is my humble opinion, that I believe that accidents in traffic is caused by apathetic slow drivers. Right? Whenever I ride on the road, it's interesting because I'll look around at people, I'll see them in their car, and they're just not interested. You know, people seem very lifeless in their car at times. And when they're riding around, they're not, you know, their mind is not focused on the task at hand. Maybe it could be tunnel vision into a lot of other things. But the reality is that I've even talked to police officers, and they are always one to tell me, you know, you got to pay attention to the accidents that you see on the road whenever they happen. Typically speaking, you know, you'll see people leave a lot of room. You know, they're not altruistic, they're not motivated to actually get to where they're going. And then so what happened is that people aren't paying attention, and you know, they'll run into the back of a different car, and it's typically fender benders. Now, when you look at speed limits that go between the speed limits of like maybe 45 and up, you'll realize that even if a person is able to decrease to that amount, the reality is that those are accidents you end up finding, like the vehicle inflamed or the vehicle on the side of the road. But typically speaking, in the event of fender benders, you're only going through a specific driving range, and it's very slow, and it's what happens to where, you know, the car becomes unmolded, and or there's really no damage at all. But the reality is that I believe is that the major reason why they're happening is because people are just not interested. They're not engaged in what they're actually doing. They're not paying attention. Now, for men out there, how can this be attributed to your life? I think that we're not motivated when we go into our vocations. We're walking accidents waiting to happen. We're not engaged. Now, a person could also think altruistically about this and say, you know, when you go into your vocation, are you thinking about the people that you can affect? I mean, generally speaking, I think in most cases, people would generally say that not only should you be thinking about your well-being when you're out on the road, but you should also be thinking about the well-being of other people. So when you go on your vacation, is that what you do? Motivation should tell you that your eyes is intrinsically caught on the road, is because your well-being is also looking out for other people. But it's an inward thought, though. It's an inward embracement to say that you're enthralled in what you're doing, right? And so naturally, because you're enthralled in what you're doing, you're willing then to motivate and protect the other people who are around you. So look at that, and you know, in your service to people. Now, you know, I go to church. I'm not advocating that every person should have to serve at church, but at least serve in some capacity to where you're serving the people around you. But either way, the heart of it is, I imagine a person, you know, got a car at one time and they were super motivated about being able to have the freedom to drive and fro to the areas where they need to go to. But where did that passion happen? When did getting in an automobile become not fun for you, to where it's just, oh man, like Eeyore, you know, people are just riding around going, man, well, I guess this is just another day, and this is what I got to look forward to. But when do we change our minds? When is it the passion of engagement for our vocation and our job is something that we have to reassess and be able to say, where did the passion go? Where did the freedom of being able to get out on the open road? If you need re-enlightenment, sing songs. You know, I have several playlists that I put on my car. I recently started listening to country music, and it's pretty cool. But, you know, I mix it with a lot of folk and also, you know, soulful music. Of songs that I know to right now, but you know, it allows me to get concentrated on my life and be able to then, you know, enjoy the space that I'm at. And then so it's not such a bad thing, you know, when I'm riding around and stuff. But you know, I put guardrails, right? Guardrails, signs, stop signs. You know, every person has been in a fender bender before, but the reality is that when you get into these spaces, whether or not it's in your car or your vocation, wherever you're going, the aptitude then to look at it, to reassess. Like, I don't believe fundamentally that there are people who say that you don't have to be passionate about what you do. I don't think that what you do is always, you know, fun and exciting and you're going to be happy all the time. But I do believe that you have to have a sense of purpose as to what you're doing so that you can reignite that fire, right? For men out there, you can reignite that fire and you can say, hey man, I'm being lazy. My mind is, you know, I got into this accident not because of another person. I got into this accident because I'm not paying attention, right? Wisdom says that if I'm paying attention, these are mistakes that I can tweak, and then so I don't get into a victimized state of mind whenever I walk into my vocation, no more than it is the road. I'm intrinsically engaged. So if I get in traffic one time, it's like, okay, like what can I do? Is there another route that I can take? Am I just on auto drive and I've just assumed that this is the only way that I'm supposed to go? Is there a different way? And even then, even if I know that the traffic is coming, and even if I know the circumstances are coming, have I victimized myself to where I'm not intrinsically saying, I need to get home. I need to get home to my motivations. I need to get home to my family. I need to get home to the things that I actually enjoy. I need to get to work in the morning. I need to get to the things that actually are enthralling me. So I will not let circumstances dictate how I feel about things. That's true alignment. So I wanted to get that out there to you guys today. Again, my name is Linwood Cox Jr. With the Book of Aliel Cast, founder and CEO of Imago Day Fashion Consulting. Thanks for listening to me. If you're out there, you needing consulting help, whether or not you're a business owner or you're just like, man, I need counseling in a matter as to how I can change my appearance vocationally as well as in your everyday life, I'd be more than glad to help you. Well, this is Linwood Cox signing off. I got to get back on the road. Take care of yourselves. God bless you.